reasons. I was debating whether to come on or not under the circumstances of the current. But I was moved to, have a brief celebration, earlier celebration with the team. But we spent some time encouraging one another and reminding each other who, what, and whose we are. So I decided to come and just do it, just a quick brief. That we're doing the series on your true identity, who you are, what you are, whose you are. And I just wanted to kind of remind you that for me, one of my, calls on this life or in this journey that I'm on, this go round, if you would, is to be a messenger or a teller of reminder, maybe just somebody to remind you that you're much more than this world. You're much more than the experiences that you witness in this world. We are indeed sons and daughters and children of the Most High, our Creator, our Source. And there is a life within us that is not of this world. Not of this world. Our flesh and blood, we're here, we're physical, and this is part of the world, and we need this flesh and blood, and we need this mentality and this mind and all these emotions and feelings and all these things that make us human. We need it in order to navigate in this world. But just be reminded that you are much more than flesh and blood. In fact, the life that's on the inside of you is really what motivates, what mobilizes, what gives this physical body its movement. Without the life in us, this would be a done deal, a dead deal, dead body. Wouldn't be able to move or have any kind of experiences or beings. So first and foremost, we're here every Sunday morning to celebrate that life in us and give it its honor and its due and its acknowledgement, if you would, and to celebrate and to be happy and excited that we have it. We have it, and we want to, look outside of ourselves and our physical bodies, and we want to appreciate the vehicle in which this life has its experiences and its demonstration in this world. In this world. But I want to remind you that that's one of the things that one of my purposes is to do that. But I want to also, want you to know that I'm just as human as you are, just as fragile, just as, flaky, just as weak, just as prideful, just as egoless as any of us, any of you. We all in the same, we're all in this world together. But we're all, and I say this, and hopefully you hear it and you get it. And if you don't really believe it at this moment, just hold on to it and just meditate on it and chew on it. You are much, much, much more than this world. Much, 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 much more than this world. So all the things that we are witnessing and we're watching and seeing and even being a part of sometimes, it's not our thing. It's not that life in us. It's not that thing. God wanted us, our Creator, our source wanted us to come and be a demonstration of truly who and what and whose we are in this world. Not to be overcome by this world or succumb or fall into place and be conditioned to react and act and be like this world. We weren't called to do that. We were called to show the world that in spite of the heaviness, the darkness, all of this chaos, that we could still walk on water. We could still heal the sick. We can still raise the dead. We can do that regardless of how many bullets you shoot or how many hateful I don't know, mean and dark and dismal words we pitch out at one another, that we are more than that. And we can survive that. And we will survive that. That's something that, that hopefully this lesson, this series is going to, hopefully when we get finished with it, and I don't know when that's going to be, but when we get finished with this series, I'm hoping, my hope and desire is that we get it. We get it to the point where we can look around and we can say, oh, wow, it's a temporary situation. That'll never be. That'll never see the end of me. That'll never see the end of me. That's just something that I'm going through. It's part of this journey. I get to look and see. But wait a minute, world. Wait a minute. All this hate, all this discord, all this chaos. Watch me walk on water. Watch me walk through the storm. Watch me get on the other side of it. Because you will. I don't care how much you go through, how much you witness and you see, how dismal you think this world is, how you think that we are just goners. We're just, this is it. It's put a fork in it and we're done. No, we're not. The story of you and I was written in entirety from the beginning, from way before the beginning, in fact, to the end. And the end is that we're all going to get there. Every one of us, born of men and women, came from the womb. We're going to get there. We're going to get to the end, and it's going to be a glorious end. We're going to come out winners. I don't care how many prisons, that we build over in this world to hold us. It ain't going to hold us. I don't care how many hospital beds that turned out to be cooling boards or whatever they call those things in the old days, and you just lay there and die. We are eternal beings in a dead body because without us it would be dead. But that life on us is going to end. It's going to end in glory. It's going to end as winners. So I want to encourage you, no matter what we see and what we go through and what mistakes we make and how fallen we are, how dark and gloomy, we're going to make it. We're going to make it because God said so. He wrote it in the book. I'm going to leave with encouraging you that whatever holy scriptures you hold holy and sacred to you, and I'm saying that because not all of us that are at the sound of my voice or at some point in time at the sound of my voice will be Christians, if you would. We're going to be followers of the Holy Spirit. And, we could put names and tags on everything. I know I call my God, my Father, my Creator, my Source, Father. Sometimes I call God, Creator, Source. I give many names, but they're basically the same. So whatever it is that you call your God, your Source, your Creator, your Maker, that story, that being, that force wrote your story. Go into those stories and read them and get to know them. They're not just Bible stories that happened 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, whatever. They're not just stories. They are kind of your biography. You talk about the things that you will encounter. If we read those stories, nothing in this world should surprise us. Nothing that happens in this world should surprise us. If we read those stories, those sacred, God-inspired, source-inspired, creator-inspired stories in the sacred scriptures, if we read them, and not with a mere mind of man, but read it with the mind of God, mind of Christ, mind of God Himself, Creator Himself, herself. I get lost in Proverbs, but you know what I mean. And employ or invite your life in you to help you understand and translate it and understand the symbolism of the true understanding of those stories. Because once you get that understanding under your belt and under your craw, everything that you see in this world, you'll say, yeah, that's part of this world. But I'm not of this world. I know my physical body is. It's going to stay the way. It's going to stay here because it's just going to stay because it's dead, just like the rest of the world is dead. And it would be dead. This world is dead without us. And as long as we're here, we keep it alive. Yeah. But it's how we keep it alive that matters. Matters to source. Because God, Father, Source, Creator, has an intention for us, has a will and a purpose and plans for us that we will carry out. How I know that? Because God said so. Because Creator said we would. So I don't care how many times I fall down and make the worst mistake and want to kick myself and want to go somewhere and hide and want to be ashamed, want to feel guilty, want to, be locked up, want to lay in the whatever it is. All those things that I may suffer at the hands of myself for being, contrary and not understanding and reading and asking for help. I mean, I can get all kind of degrees out here in the world, but that's not going to help me be or serve the purpose that I was placed here to serve. This education is going to help me get through this place, and not make waves and make everybody happy here. But my goal as a super being, I won't say human, super being, is to make it back home. Make it back home. This isn't home. This is just, I'm the journey here. Some people call it schoolhouse, whatever you want to call it. I'm just a journey here. And every now and then I run into somebody that I know that want to travel with me a ways. But at some point we have to part our ways and we go separate. And then I meet somebody else. Then I get in trouble with somebody else or whatever. We do our thing. But we're all gonna get there. Maybe at different times and different place and in different ways. We're gonna take a different road, but we're all gonna get there because your Creator said so. I don't know all the different religions and faiths and beliefs out there, but I do know that there's one God. There is one. You can name God any name you want to make him, Jehovah, Buddha, whatever. I don't know what the different names are, but I know you can name them whatever, but there's one God. One God, and there's one Spirit of God. And that one Spirit of God resides on each one of us. I don't care how tainted and dirty and ridiculous and sinful or whatever we are, dirty, whatever. The same God lives on the inside of us. Yeah. Your identity is that you are indeed an eternal being, having an experience in the earth, in this world, in this physical world. And when you finish with this experience, this physical body that you're having that experience in is going to die. It's going to go back to nothing, dirt, dust. But you're going to go on and 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 on until you make it back home to become once again completely united and engulfed and enveloped and just transformed back into the one God, the one Spirit that we all are. I'm going to leave it there this morning, and I'm just going to ask you to just be encouraged. Study your sacred scriptures, whatever it might be. Develop and ensure a relationship with your internal spirit that guided you. That God in you. Because to overcome this world, you need something that's beyond this world. And it ain't flesh and blood. God bless you. I love you because I am love. I'm told to do it. It's one of my marching papers, my marching orders. So be kind one to another. Manifest best. Until next Sunday, hopefully I'll see you next Sunday at 11. Be on time. I'll be on time next Sunday, I hope. Until then, manifest best. Take care. God bless.